He was in the military. The one where his family, he was convicted of murdering his family and creating a crime scene, much like the Manson family. It was back in those days, and he was a doctor. In many ways, he would have been highly successful. But if you look at the history like somebody, you still find that they're getting into fights, they're doing illegal activities. They may not be getting caught for them. And I think Paul Babiak's work in a book called, is it Snakes in Suits, Jason?
And suits. Yep.
He found that during times of chaos that you will find people very high on psychopathy that kind of rise to the top. And he talks about that issue. So if you are struggling with those kind of things or curious about them, that would be a book we would highly recommend.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you hit it right there on the head. They're engaging in criminal behavior, but not always arrested, right? Sometimes they're, you know, acting in those gray areas. All right. And then another good question was, are high IQ psychopaths at a higher or lower risk of violence, sex offending, or other reoffending than those with average IQs? And then it also asking if a confounding issue is that those evaluated are the ones who get caught, more likely to have characteristics including impulsivity, poor behavioral controls, and criminal versatility. Yep. I think, yeah, it has to, yeah, they're thinking that leads to that behavior is perfect way to kind of to frame it. Um, Another one was about, when we talked about like 1% of the population is psychopathic, approximately 350 million people in the US, so that's probably about 3 million. I think the last estimates I saw, there's only probably about a million people in prison and jails currently in the US. So, and again, not all people in prison are psychopathic. So maybe a quarter of those people are. So you probably have a good, I don't know, 2 million people out there, at least in the United States.
Yeah, you can find them in most walks of life, but they're often
Yeah.
attracted because of this criminal type personality to positions of power, control, where they get admiration and attention,
Yep.
and so forth. It's the nature of their personality.